Warning: due to the graphic content in this program, viewer discretion is advised.
You know, when most people think about predators in uniform, they don't expect the badge to belong to a woman. And they definitely don't expect the woman to be a 51-year-old veteran of law enforcement, with decades of service under her belt. But this story takes that assumption, flips it inside out, and leaves us staring at the uncomfortable truth. Today, we're headed down to Miami-Dade, Florida, where a woman sworn to protect the public is now facing charges that are nothing short of horrifying. The suspect, Carl Miranda Bloom, a sheriff's deputy, is now accused of starting an inappropriate relationship with a 17-year-old girl. A relationship investigators say quickly spiraled into threats, coercion, and psychological torment. It all began with a tip. Law enforcement officials say they were alerted that Deputy Bloom was possibly involved in something highly inappropriate. When federal investigators stepped in, they say they discovered images, messages, and videos that confirmed their worst suspicions. Not only was there alleged contact between Bloom and the teen, but there were digital traces, evidence that investigators claim clearly documented the relationship. Now, let me pause right here. This wasn't a one-time mistake. According to the allegations, this was a long-term pattern, with messages investigators described as obsessive and controlling. Reports say Bloom even referred to the girl as her wife, talked about marrying her after her birthday, and counted down the days until she turned 18. That alone should give you pause. That's not romance. That's grooming, plain and simple. But it gets darker. Federal agents say when the teen tried to distance herself and end the relationship, Bloom's tone allegedly changed. The woman who once promised love and a future became threatening, terrifying even. Agents claim there were messages laced with violent language. Messages that showed just how far this deputy was willing to go to keep control. The complaint reportedly cited messages between Bloom and the girl going back to February, including explicit photos and videos sent to Bloom from the girl. Bloom's texts allegedly verged on being violent, including one that said, "I really need to R-word your ass. I will blanking drive my knife through your throat." Bloom threatened to kill the girl when she tried to break up. One text read, "Leave me and see what happens." Another read, "I will effing drive my favorite knife through your throat and watch you die slowly. I swear on my grandparents." Court records say Bloom allegedly recorded herself with the teen on multiple occasions, and authorities believe these recordings were not only stored, but possibly produced with full knowledge of the girl's age. That's not just a bad decision. That's a federal crime. Once the arrest was made, the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office moved quickly to distance itself. Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz released a statement, calling the allegations a betrayal of the badge and a violation of every principle the department stands for. She didn't mince words, and honestly, neither should we. Because this case isn't just about one woman. It's about the systems that failed to protect a teenage girl. It's about the mental health damage that long-term manipulation can cause. And it's about how predators can hide in plain sight, behind a badge, behind a title, behind years of service. Bloom now faces federal charges related to the production and receipt of material involving a minor. If convicted, she could spend decades in prison. The legal process is just beginning. But the investigation has already left behind a chilling question. How many other people knew, and how long was this going on? This story also shatters another myth, the idea that women can't be just as manipulative, just as controlling, or just as dangerous as male predators. Bloom wasn't just a woman in uniform. She was a woman in power. And when power is abused, whether by a man or a woman, the results can be devastating. Investigators say the young victim is now safe and receiving support. But what she endured will likely leave a mark far beyond the courtroom. Trauma doesn't disappear when the suspect gets cuffed. That healing process is long, difficult, and deeply personal. So here's what I want you to remember. We don't profile predators based on gender. We don't assume innocence based on appearance. And we don't turn a blind eye just because someone wears a uniform. If someone shows you their obsession isn't love, it's control, believe them. Trust your instincts. And when something feels off, speak up. Because you just might save someone before it's too late. This has been Vanessa Hartwell. And if this kind of truth-telling matters to you, then you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and follow Women Are Evil Too on YouTube, where we dig into the stories most people are too afraid to tell. Stay safe, stay sharp, and keep asking the hard questions.